It is the Islamic Culture Capital for the Arab region for 2014. But long before it was selected for this honour, the Emirate of Sharjah has long been preserving, promoting and showcasing the UAE's unique culture at a local, regional and international level. One of the government agencies tasked with facilitating this exchange is the Sharjah Media Centre. We sat down with the centre's chairman, His Excellency Sheikh Sultan Bin Ahmed Al Qassimi, to find out what is at the core of the centre's success in driving Sharjah's media presence. Firstly, thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you for having us.
Now, with the establishment of the Sharjah Media Centre in 2011, the Emirate has really signalled its strong intention to become a presence in the local, regional and global media landscapes. Could you talk to us about some of the reasons behind the centre's creation?
The centre was created for a lot of reasons. I think the main reason is to bridge the gap between the government and media, and also to get people closer to see how the government works. And in the media center, we always focus on presenting our news the right way. We are trying to have every single department communicate with the media, have one message come out of every department, since every department have their own strategy on how to go forward media-wise, but we wanted to put them all together and see if we can have one message coming out of every department that can help Sharjah as a whole, instead of serving just the departments themselves. I think in the last few years we worked hard on that, and we came up with different solutions. Apart from training, we have also different specialized trainings for different departments to have them talk to each other and to bring out a unified message that can go out to the media.
To date, how would you rate the success of the centre in meeting its objectives to effectively communicate the message of the leadership, as well as in promoting the unique position of Sharjah as a hub for Islamic culture and history?
I think to date, I hope we've done a good job. I can see a lot of departments in Sharjah have a very good communication with the media. I see a lot of departments that used to have closed doors that are opening their doors now to media, and they realize that the best way to talk about not only your good things that you're doing, but even the problems that they're facing, the best way is to open the doors and talk freely about it. These days everyone is a reporter and everyone's a photographer with just their mobile phones. So it's easier to get the message from people than to go to wait, for example, for a news session. But you trust the news more than you trust anyone on the road just tweeting or sending a message. So we've managed through different programs to convince different departments that this is the right way to do it. We started with ourselves. We had a government communication unit in the media center, and through that unit we sent our messages and His Highness's news and the Executive Council news. I think the departments, the other government departments also realized that this is the way to go. There are some very good departments that they started even before us, and they have a good communication with the media, but there are some departments that needed some training, needed some an example to look at. So now we've been training about we trained 14 departments, and we established 14 units in these departments, government communication units in these departments, and through that they get in touch with the media. And we are training another 14, so in about 2 years' time or 3 years maximum, we'll be able to cover all departments in Sharjah, or all government departments in Sharjah, and hopefully that will unify our message.
Now, Sharjah has been named the Islamic Culture Capital for the Arab region for 2014 as part of the Islamic Culture Capital program, which is supervised and sponsored by the Islamic Organization for Education, Science and Culture. Firstly, what is it about Sharjah that enabled it to be selected for this honour, and what's the Emirate going to be doing this year to maximise this?
Sharjah has always been, I think it's being named the cultural capital of the Islamic world is something that Sharjah had long time ago. The name came in late, but I think Sharjah, with all the museums that they have, with all the exhibitions, cultural activities, the Department of Culture in Sharjah alone has more than 5,000 activities a year. So you're talking about, for example, when they have the book fair, they have over 100 activities during the book fair. So we have all year round 5,000 activities just related to the Department of Culture. And that also gives other departments challenges to also keep up with them. So it has always been a cultural vision for Sharjah. His Highness started the book fair. You know, it was one of the first in the regions. Now it's one of the 4 biggest. Having Sharjah theatrical days, having Sharjah cultural days, focusing on culture and on museums. Sharjah alone has museums more than all the Emirates put together. So this shows how important culture is to Sharjah. During this year, we'll be doing a lot of activities that are related to Islamic culture. We are starting with a big show, hopefully by the end of March. We are doing some openings. Maybe I can't talk about everything, but I think the first show that we'll have for the opening of the Sharjah Cultural Capital would be the biggest around the... Actually, it's one of the biggest in its section around the world. So we are planning for a big event. We are planning to have different activities that are related to the Islamic Cultural Capital. All year long, we are trying to set the bar very high for other cultural capitals that will come after us. But hopefully, I hope we're doing the right thing by sending the right message about Islam and about culture and about our regional tradition.
Welcome back. The media landscape is rapidly changing due to the popularity of smart devices and social media platforms. In response to this, in 2012, Sharjah held the first Government Communications Forum. This year sees the event go global, as the 2014 International Government Communications Forum witnesses the convergence of regional and international experts, along with government thought leaders from all over the world in the Emirate of Sharjah. So what are the challenges facing governments as they strive to effectively communicate? We continue our conversation with His Excellency Sheikh Sultan Bin Ahmed Al Qassimi. Looking now to the area of government communications, Sharjah held the first Government Communications Forum in 2012, and this year sees the event expanding its scope internationally, with experts and speakers gathering from all over the world. Could you tell us about the event's evolution and its importance worldwide?
When we started the forum the first year, it was we thought of it as a small forum that will gather some local experts and to introduce their experiences. And we were shocked by the number of people attending. We were surprised by the size of or by the number of people wanting to get more information from that. We even had to put more seats in the hall and more television so people can see what's happening inside the room. So the year after that, we decided to take it on a bigger scale, on a regional size. And we also had a very, very good attendance. So we thought this thing has to grow. We finally decided to name it the International Government Communication Forum. We decided to make it international. We decided to focus on the subjects rather than on the people themselves. We don't want to focus on where the people are coming from, but on what they can offer to the forum. So we have people from all over the world. we have experiences from all over the world. We have people showcasing their they're showcasing their whatever good they did or whatever they failed in. So at least we're getting some information from their experience, and we're trying to share that not only with the local people here, but we're also getting people from all over the world registering and coming to attend this forum. This is, I think, we're getting the biggest forum we had in the past 2 years. So this year it will be a big forum.
Now, the media landscape has changed radically over the last 10 years, especially seeing the convergence of online media and traditional broadcast. In this up-to-the-minute and dynamic environment, what are some of the challenges faced by governments and government bodies and agencies in effectively communicating, not just locally, but on the international level as well?
Technology is moving very fast, and I think one of the hardest things is for the government to keep up with the technology, trying to focus on other things rather than what they're doing. So it's easier for people to now. It's easier for people to say their word and talk about what they want, whether it's on Twitter or on any social media. It's getting easier to get your voice to the government. But the government has to have a good way of receiving these voices and placing them in the right place. It's easier for people to talk either positively or negatively about anything. The government has to be there to either confirm or to say that this didn't happen. But the best thing the government can do is to listen to all the people speaking and try to improve on what they can. I think we've noticed in the past 2 to 3 years that governments can be toppled by tweets or can be changed by an opinion. So that's why the government has to be ready for such things. They have to be ahead of everyone to be able to communicate with the people. And saying that doesn't mean that they have to talk about different things that they're not doing, but it's showcasing what they can do, showing how to serve people better, even have to get into how to find the right application to serve people better. So it's a lot of technology getting into the field of government that they have to keep up with, and they have to provide for the people.
Now, taking this into consideration, what has the Sharjah Media Centre learnt in regards to best practices for the implementation of the government's communication strategy, and how do forums such as the International Government Communications Forum help in its successful application?
The Government Communication Forum in the past 2 years helped the Media Centre especially a lot. We came out with, after every Government Communication Forum, we come out with requirements. And in the past 2 years, there were a lot of requirements from the Government Communication Forum that we decided to implement in Sharjah, which has been implemented, and I think that's one of the reasons why we are getting better at the communication part. One of the requirements was establishing a government communication unit. Now we have 14 government communication units in different departments, and another 14 coming up soon, and we hopefully will cover over 50 government communication units. Another thing came out of the second Government Communication Forum was establishing an award for best practices of government communication, which we held in December. And that was a big success because we didn't expect to get applications not only from Sharjah, but even from the regional area, local and federal. And that keeps growing. Every year we get some more information, we learn more from the forum itself, and I think what we do best here in Sharjah is we actually take those requirements and put them to work. So we do focus on getting more information from the forum. I think this makes us a bit different on focusing how to look into what we have to do through these forums.
Finally, as the Emirate of Sharjah continues moving forward onto the world stage, what role would you like to see it playing in the promotion of Emirati culture and values?
In my opinion, the Emirate of Sharjah has to keep doing what it's doing best right now. Sharjah is always focusing on culture, on tradition, on different ways to improve this part of the lifestyle in Sharjah. We have to think that doing this doesn't affect also the other part. We have to have a very good balance between culture and improving on spending on culture, spending on education, spending on things that would help people intellectually, and also spending on, for example, the infrastructure, spending on hospitals, housings, and etc. So I think in Sharjah we're doing both, and we're balancing between these two. We chose the hardest part of not focusing on one side, but focusing on both and trying to balance between all of them. I think the future for Sharjah is very good. I think as long as we keep doing what we're doing best, we can always get a very good balance between focusing on how to spend money in ways people can see, and how to spend money on ways people won't see until maybe years after.
Your Excellency, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.